with Bull last time, but we wanted to do one just ourselves. You know, it's my boy right here.
Yeah.
We go way back. We were boys in Hawaii, boys out here in Colombia right now, or Medellin. Traveled all over the place together. So go ahead and introduce yourself, bro.
So yeah, man, I'm Jared Bell. I was in the Army for 4.5 years. That's where I met Kaufman, and ever since then, you know, we've been inseparable. You know, we Hawaii together. We both went to Guam. You know, so now we're in Medellin. So it's like, hey, it was only right that we link together, link up, and have some fun. So it's nice to be here. It's nice to be on the podcast. I feel welcome. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm ready.
Hey, what'd you think about Guam, bro?
Man, so us coming from Hawaii, man, it was like Guam was just like a kind of like a worse Hawaii. You know, so it's like it's fun, yeah, the beaches are fun, you know, the weather's nice, a little humid though, but it's like a worse Hawaii, honestly. So when it comes down to it, it's kind of like you came from Hawaii to go to a worse place. So honestly, Guam was mid to me. It wasn't that great, honestly, man.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I spent way too much time in Guam. For those of you that were in 307th that know me, I went to Guam way too many times. Every single mission, it seemed like I got sent to Guam.
Right,
but
yeah.
It was fun, man. Like you said, like the people there are so nice, though.
Yeah.
And the food was really good. Like, my favorite burger spot in the whole world is this place called Stacks on Guam. I don't know if you didn't go out there.
Nah, I didn't get
right?
the chance. I didn't get the chance to go to. Nope.
Fuji Ichiban.
No, I didn't get to know.
You didn't go to Fuji Ichiban right across from the W?
Man, I was on Anderson Air Force Base for about 95% of the time. And that's sad to say. But yeah, man, the mission was not that great to me. I wasn't able to leave the base as much because just of my team. But yeah, man, I wasn't able to go to the places, man.
So you know in Tumon they have that club W, right?
Oh, the W. Of course I know the W.
Yeah, so like right across the street was Fuji Ichiban. It was like Asian food.
Man, I never went there. I went to the W, yeah, but I never really went down there.
But you went to Vaughn's Chicken, right?
Of course, Vaughn's Chicken. That's a staple. Come on, that's a staple, dog. Right? Vaughn's Chicken, of course.
Yeah, for any of these people who have been to Guam, Vaughn's Chicken, so fire, bro.
Fuego.
So fire.
You like crispy Korean fried chicken, man? That's a spot you go to. I'm telling you.
Yeah, Vaughn's Chicken. All right, so where else have you been?
Ooh.
Philippines, Thailand?
So, yeah, man. So, like I said, firstly, I got stationed in Hawaii. So, I got lucky with that. And then from Hawaii, you know, they sent me to Guam. And from Guam, after my mission there, they sent me to Thailand and the Philippines. And that really felt like my first international trip, honestly. That was the first big one. And the first one, I felt like uncomfortable in my own skin, which I feel like Thailand, which I feel like every American should feel that because we live in America, we live in a bubble, we live in a society where it's like we feel protected and we don't know how it feels to be an outsider.
Facts.
So going there and feeling like an outsider, it's a unique perspective. So I feel like everyone should feel that because it's unique, man. Like I said.
Yeah, bro, that's how it was for me when I was in Honduras. I was in Tegucigalpa. I'm the only white person there, bro. And the whole mall. And like I was telling you before, like little kids. I saw this little kid pulling on his mom's dress, like pointing at me like, what's wrong with him? Like, why does he look like that? You know, and I feel like a lot of people in America probably haven't experienced that, bro. Like a lot of people in America probably haven't experienced like being the like real minority, bro. Like, what'd you think?
Exactly. So exactly what you were saying about being the minority. Like when I went to the Philippines, like you said about the kids pointing at you and everything, I felt the same way. I would walk down the street with my then girlfriend at the time. We would walk down the street and I have kids pointing at me. Look, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. I mean, yeah, it was funny at the time. I didn't take any offense, and of course they do mean well. But it's just funny to be in a different situation where it's like those people are looking up to you. And they're happy to see you, or they're amazed, and it's a very unique perspective that I feel like not a lot of people have felt, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like one reason why we're talking about Medellin is so cool because it's pretty diverse here, bro. Like Medellin is sweet.
Yeah,
bro.
so like honestly, especially as a black person, like I've never seen so many like black people outside of the U.S. Like it's crazy. Like as people like my color that talk a completely different language, and it's like. It's kind of like eye-opening. It's like, wow, like, you know, that could have been me. I could have been like Colombia, you know what I'm saying? I could have been living in Colombia, you know? So it's kind of like, it's crazy how that works, how like people who look like me speak a completely different language and live a different lifestyle. But, you know, if you put them next to me, you would think they're both American or they're both from the same place. But it's crazy. Like, I love it here because the people are so unique, like you were saying.
Yeah. Yeah, and everyone here has been super helpful and friendly too. Like all the Uber drivers have been like talking to us, telling us spots. Because we've only had one person that was kind of like a jerk. It was like this lady at the supermarket we go eat a breakfast at. She like apparently has an issue with us not being super extremely fluent in
Crazy.
Spanish. Like, I mean, my Spanish is like pretty good, bro. Like everywhere we've been, like I've talked Spanish and been able to convey what we needed, where we needed, where we wanted to go, order food, everything. And like usually, pretty much everyone here will work with you, except for that one lady. She for some reason did not want to. She was sitting there making fun of us. But I mean, like we were saying that too. Like in the States, I mean, that's probably worse in the States. Like
Exactly.
you know, people who come to the United States and they can't speak English that well, and people will make fun of them or think they're stupid. It's like if you ever making fun of someone for not knowing a language, how many languages do you speak? If you only speak one language, then you have no right making fun of someone who's trying a different language than their home tongue.
And that's crazy because it's like, have you ever been in that situation where it's like, you know, like they're laughing at you for not speaking the right language? I've never been in that situation, so it's kind of like
First time here,
it
bro.
was crazy. I felt like it's crazy that some people feel like that in the U.S. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
I'll say this: like when I first started learning Spanish, bro, like it depends on who I was talking to. So like when you first start learning Spanish, bro, like most people who speak Spanish naturally are very like encouraging and they want you to learn. That they're glad that you're trying. I feel like that's any language. Glad that you're trying, but of course you always have the few jerk offs who make fun of me or like, oh, well, you're saying it wrong. Like, no, really, like no kidding, I'm saying it wrong. Like I'm trying to learn the language. Like of course I'm saying it wrong. Like
I'm supposed to speak it
what
fluently.
is
Like,
you sitting here laughing at me gonna do? Like so it's the same way like. Vice versa too. Like if you go to like a Chinese buffet, like you know those people are having a hard time speaking the language. Like I feel like now I would have so much more grace towards them because like they speak more languages than most people. They speak trying a second, maybe third language. So yeah,
exactly. And both of the women in our lives both speak 2 languages too. So it's like, you know, it's crazy to think that, you know, people can actually process different languages in their head and speak it differently. Like I've been here for over 10 days now, and I can't fathom how many people can speak different languages and are just comfortable with it. Like that is so difficult to me. I've having trouble learning Spanish while I'm here, and it's amazing to see that people are just. A lot of people are friendly. A lot of people are very helping with it too.
Yeah.
So it's you know what I'm saying? It's very nice. It's very nice to see that people are very helping, except that one person. But you know, I'm just happy I was put in a situation, so I feel like I have to definitely be more considerate when it comes to people who don't speak the language correctly, you know, stuff like that. I had to be more considerate to that, you know.
facts. Especially like what you were saying earlier about how, you know, going to a different country is kind of like that's kind of a risk.
Yeah.
Especially like people moving. So like people moving to the States, you know, that's such a big risk because it's like I have such more respect for immigrants now, especially because like things that you take for granted, like in a foreign country, you may not know about. Like for instance, like if we had a medical emergency or needed police, like I mean, you don't know all that stuff, bro.
Exactly.
Like you don't really know all those policies and rules because you're not from here, you know.
Exactly. So imagine doing that with like absolutely no family or having no friends here. Like, you know what I'm saying? That would be so completely difficult. But there's a lot of people who immigrate to the United States who do the exact same thing. So it's kind of like I needed to see this. I needed to be put in this situation so I can appreciate those people more. And I have a whole newfound respect for those people. Honestly.
Yeah.
I really do.
You know, they were saying Medellin is the most built-up city in Colombia.
Sure, I believe it.
Yeah, we wanted to go to Cali or maybe Cartagena, but we just ended up staying in Medellin the whole time, and it was great. But definitely, like I was telling you before, Colombia is way nicer than Honduras, bro.
Oh yeah.
Honduras, like the main construction material for most of the houses is like pallets and tarps. Like seriously, like down bad, like
Bad.
you know. And well, one thing too is like people there, same way with here. Like for the most part, they work to get there. They work, bro. Like if they want to get a paycheck, they want money, they want to live, they have to work. Like people are out in the streets selling anything they can make, bro. Bakery stuff, goods, like fruits, vegetables, candies. That's like the equivalent of the American bum is like a person selling selling stuff on the street here. Like at least they're offering you some type of service, bro. Like
exactly.
cleaning your windshield. That's a big one here too. Or like street performers. But like in the States, you get so many people that are just bums that just beg. And there's that tier too. Like we had these kids that were heckling us the whole freaking dinner while we were eating dinner. It was like an outside venue, and these kids are just standing out on the outside like the whole time, amigo, 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 asking for money.
And it was kind of my fault because they were doing that and they were asking so much, man. They were asking so much. And when I finally got my change for whatever I was buying, I slipped one of the guys like a 5,000 peso note, which I literally regret doing the instant I did it, because guess what? I did that and it was like attracting like ants to a piece of sugar. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, I did that, and then like three or four of his friends came through. Oh, hey, mi amigo, like asking for money. Like, man, that was a big regret. Like, but I try to help out, but it's like, man, now I'm getting punished for it. Like,
I think one of the coolest things that we did here was yesterday when we went out to Guadalupe. We'll put some, if you're watching the podcast, we'll throw some clips and pictures up on there. But it's like this giant rock that basically they built these stairs into it. You can climb up to the top. And the whole area, I don't even know how to describe it. It's kind of almost like a marshland, like swampy, but it's like not really swampy, but it's like this lake that kind of goes throughout the whole area, you know. It has like tons of different land islands. And we went and saw one of Pablo Escobar's houses that he was hidden out in on a boat ride, where his like socios, they say, was hanging out and all that kind of stuff. So that was super cool, bro.
Oh yeah, it was excellent, man. That was honestly one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. Like, it was amazing to be able to like climb the rock. I mean, it looked easier than we thought, you know, but it was fun to do. We, you know, took a nice little sweat out of it. You know what I'm saying? It was fun. But the views up there was just immaculate, man. We got to see everything, whole 360 views of all the wetlands, like you said, the marshes, the lakes, the houses. It was a beautiful. I can't describe it in words because it was that beautiful. Like, man, 7 wonders of the world, like that has to be added to the list. Like, Guadalupe needs to be added to the list of 7 wonders of the world. It was that good. Like, I enjoyed myself. It was perfect.
It's like, they say it's like a giant rock. And I was asking our driver, you know, like, why is it a rock? Why is it not like a mountain? And you just have to see it to know, like, oh, it's really not a mountain, because a mountain has like roots and, you know, kind of slopes upward for the most part. But this is just like a rock, bro, like a giant rock, bro, like huge.
And like you said, that was just half of it, man. We got to go on the lake, got to see all the houses on the lake. Beautiful lake, beautiful, beautiful. Like, all the houses, all the islands. It was fantastic, man. Like, Guadalupe, man. If you never heard of it, look it up right now. It's amazing, please.
Super cheap. Well, like I said, we'll put some clips on there so you can see it too.
Yeah.
But everything here is super cheap. Like, what is it? 50,000 pesos, Colombian pesos is like $10.
Like $10, yeah, $10,
10 American bucks.
And that's a lot for stuff here. So 50,000, your groceries might end up being, you know, 150 for a whole cart of groceries. And it's like, whoa, what? Really? Like,
yeah, like we went out to restaurants a couple times, and like, bro, you and I had like, you had that steak bowl, I had like a chicken bowl. We got appetizer with the chimichangas. Or no, not chimichangas.
Empanadas.
Empanadas, yeah, we had empanadas. We each got a drink, like a little cocktail. The bill for both of us was like under $30.
And that was the expensive area.
And that's the tourist area. Like the nice stuff. And the food was good. Like the quality, the restaurant, the vibe was immaculate. Like it's not poor quality. It's amazing stuff. It's actually affordable.
Exactly. So it's like, man, coming here and being able to afford things, the good things in life, it was eye-opening, man. Like, it really was. I felt special here. I felt really special here. In the States, I kind of feel like I'm just one of another working class person. But here, I feel like I'm treated with more respect. You know?
Exactly.
And I love that.
Yeah, it's exactly it. Like, there's more respect. Because people get it their own way. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when we come here and, like, you know, they see that we took the initiative to come here, you know. I don't know. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
I get exactly what you're saying, bro.
Yeah, like, the respect is definitely there. It's definitely more so than the States. People are more friendly. Like, greeting someone on the street here is, like, normal.
And I feel as though it's more of a cultural thing with
Definitely.
that. I feel like the culture here is more respectful than it is in the States. We have people just greeting us, walking by. How many people in the States say hello to you? Like, just randomly. How many strangers say, hey, how you doing? How's your day? Well, people say that to us. We greet people back. Like, it's more friendly here. You know, people are more, I guess, more hospitable. Hospitable, like you said. They're more open, bro. So I really enjoy it. Like, it was really nice to see, man. And like I said, it's not the only country like that. Like, the Philippines was like that. Thailand was like that. So I kind of feel like the whole attitude thing, man, is definitely a U.S. thing. U.S. kind of, we all feel like we're all, you know, we're all too important. Exactly, we're all entitled or too important to, you know, stoop down and say hello to the janitor or say hi to the secretary. How's your day going? We feel a little too entitled to do that. We don't have to do that. We feel like, okay, whatever. I don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Here, it's just customary, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Like the people that we've interacted with have all been super nice, like way more so than the States, willing to help. I mean, because you know how it is, especially the places like you've been in Philly, right? Or Baltimore, like the East Coast. Like if you were to say hello to someone, they'll look at you like you're an idiot. Like, why are you talking to me? You know what I'm saying? Like, very rude. And it's like that all over. I'm sure it's like that all over the place. But yeah, the culture is just so different, man. Like everyone is presentable. Everyone comes out looking nice and dressed up and clean. No one, like Bull was saying in our last episode, there's not many people here that are obese because the portion sizes for food are like smaller for the most part, and they're healthier items. It's not just like greasy food, you know?
That's exactly what I was going to say. Like, I feel like that's a big issue here too. Is everybody's in shape. Not a big issue, but that's a big perk. Everyone's in shape. Like, wow. Like you said, I think it's part of the diet. Like you said, the majority of it is everything. You have to walk everywhere, man. Like you have to be active. You gotta have a car here, yeah, but everything's in walking distance too. So I mean, walking is encouraged. You know, it's like cool. If you have a car, yeah, but you can also walk to the store. You can walk here, walk there. U.S., man, you hopping in the car to go, you know, half a mile down the street. You're not walking, man. You're not walking.
Another thing that's kind of crazy is it's the same way here in Honduras. So I'll speak a little bit about Honduras. So I spent a little bit of time in Tegucigalpa, and then I flew into Comayagua, and then eventually we went up and saw some waterfalls, and then me and my girlfriend went to Roatan, which is like an island in the Caribbean, but it's still in Honduras territory. And that was super cool. Like we were on the beach, you know, like our little bungalow hotel room, like looked out over the water and everything. But it's very touristy there, like, you know, like kind of getting towards American prices. The Lempira is worth more than the Colombian peso, but the Honduran Lempira is worth less than the American dollar. So it's like still cheap, but like not really. And it's like because in that area in Roatan, the island, like they know you're tourists, so it's like it's not really that cheaper, bro. But it was super cool. The water, man, is so clear. Like I showed you those photos, and you could see straight down to the bottom. Like more so than Hawaii, more like maybe equivalent of Guam.
It's crazy, man, crazy. You told me about that. I was like, I honestly never heard. Of course, I heard of Honduras, but I never heard of anyone who's been there. So it was like, oh, okay, that was kind of random. You know what I'm saying? And then you start posting pictures. I was like, oh, okay, this man might have found a hidden gem. Like, it's nice there. Like, beautiful beaches, you know what I'm saying? Like, the water was nice. Like, all the, like you said, you went jet skiing and all that. I was like, whoa, man, this man's doing all that out there. It looked nice from the pictures, man. So I was like, wow, man, I didn't know Honduras had it like that.
Yeah,
I was surprised, man. So
yeah, so I'd say, like, if you look, here we go. Well, I'm not a gatekeeper, so I put people on. So I'm about to put you all on, man, traveling, all that stuff. So hopefully if everyone goes to it, it'll probably mess it up. But like, oh well, I already went. So, but if you're trying to go to like an island in the Caribbean for cheaper than what, you know, Turks and Caicos or the Bahamas or Jamaica, Roatan, that's a good place to go. It's in the Caribbean. It's off Honduras. And it's way cheaper than going to Jamaica or Turks and Caicos or Florida Keys. And it's the same stuff, same thing. You go out on a beach, and we stayed in the West End, like it's like the area, what it's called. And like you walk out on the beach, and there's all kinds of people there. There's hagglers, like, you know, trying to braid your hair or whatever. But there's also like tons of people who like own a boat, locals. And they're like, oh, jet ski, banana boat, parasail? What do you want to do? Jet ski, banana boat, parasail, snorkeling? You know, oh. And like, so if you wanted to do a banana boat per se or parasail, you could just ask them like, ¿cuánto cuesta? And they'll tell you like, you know, how much is it? And if they tell you, I don't know, 1,000 lempiras, and you think it's too much, just walk down to the next guy, 5 steps down the beach, and offer him half, and he'll take you. Like, it's crazy. You can really haggle.
So just like Colombia in a way where you can do the same thing. So I meant to ask you too. So like we've been there for what, almost 10 days now. Give me one of your pros and one of your cons that you have in Medellin so far.
That's a good question. Pros, 100% is the amount of green here. Like all the plants, it's so beautiful. Even in the house, I mean, like in this Airbnb, there's plants all over the place. Like plants in restaurants. It's clean. Like kind of just like the overall visual, I'd say. You know, the city of itself, you know, we'll put some photos and videos, just gorgeous, bro. Like the scenery here is breathtaking over and over and over and over. But a con, probably the amount of traffic and the amount of exhaust. Like greenery, like having a green thumb is not really a thing here, especially in Honduras. Like in Honduras, there's just piles of trash on the side of the road. But along with the shacks, there's not that here. But you know that tunnel that we were in the other day? The tunnel is like, it's like, how long do you think we drove that tunnel? How long of a drive is that tunnel?
Man, at least 20 minutes.
It's a solid 20 minutes. Straight through the mountain in a tunnel.
Don't remind me, man. That was awful. Full of exhaust fumes. But like I was in gas chamber. It felt like, the CS gas we had, the basic, but it felt like that. Like, to a point, I'm getting lightheaded. I'm getting dizzy, man. It's just a tunnel full of exhaust gas and CO2 emissions. Like, oh my goodness, bro. That's awful.
Huge tunnel. You literally are in it for like 25 minutes, driving like 70 kilometers an hour. Just exhaust. It's all you can taste, all you can breathe. It's like thick in the air. But because the buses just pour out black smoke, dog. Pour it out.
But to build on that, I guess my pros and cons would be, my biggest pro would be walkability. The fact that there's a grocery store around a lot of corners, there's food places, there's pharmacies. It is very walkable. I live in Phoenix, man. If you don't have a car, man, I'm sorry, you can't survive. If you don't have a car in Phoenix, man, you cannot survive. It's that hard. Because you have to walk everywhere. The grocery store is a half mile to 2 miles away. There's no like local food places. You are literally addicted to your car because you have no choice. Here, on the other hand, I can walk to the grocery store, I can go to the pharmacy, I can do everything in like one square block. And it's crazy. So it's like, that's amazing to me. My biggest con though would be, like you said, I guess it'd be with the traffic, I guess. But that kind of comes with a big city. So
yeah.
I think another con would be more of just, it's not very, nah, man, just the traffic. I can't think of that many cons about it. I'm trying to think of a lot of cons, but the traffic would be my only con, honestly. It's not really, Medellin's a beautiful city. I can't think of a lot of cons about it, honestly. So I guess one would just be the traffic, honestly. That's about it.
Yeah. We've had a good time.
It's excellent. Like,
and what's funny too is like when we come on trips, we don't really be planning it out. Like we had bought our ticket to come out here, like, and that's pretty much it. We bought our ticket.
Yeah, I told Kaufdropa, I was like, hey, man, just buy the ticket, get the Airbnb, and we'll take it from here. You know what I'm saying? We'll play it by ear, bro. We get there first. That's the biggest obstacle. You get there. After that, you're already there. It's like, cool, we can just, you know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. We can look up this, look up that. You know what I'm saying? And the best adventures are the ones you do not plan. I don't care what no one says. Those are the best ones, bro. I was like, okay, bro, we're going to play it by ear and not plan it. And look what happened, bro.
Had a great time.
Fantastic.
And we were busy
time,
every day.
Busy,
there was
bro.
like 2 days where we just kicked it in the crib. That's because we were just tired and we wanted to just enjoy ourselves, watch Narcos, or in Medellin. What else are you going to do?
Exactly, dog. So it's like, I have no complaints, man. This was a fantastic trip, man. And now it's kind of just got me thinking, where to next? You know what I'm saying? Where to next? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no. We were thinking about looking at some more cities around Central, South America, maybe like Southeast Asia, but love to travel, man. It's such a good time.
Yeah, so like you said, Panama City was another option, so it's kind of like I want to stay, like you said, I want to stay with the more, Central, South America, like you said, stay in the Americas, because I feel like it's not really explored as much, man. Like people been to Thailand a lot, people been to the Philippines a lot, but like, I don't know that many people have been to Panama, you know what I'm saying? Let's travel there, let's see what's up there. Like, why not?
A lot of people, I feel like when I told people we were coming out to Colombia, they were like, oh my gosh, like be safe, but it's great here. Like all the stuff from, why Americans are worried about it, because like the drugs and Pablo Escobar, that was all, 30 years ago? 30-some years ago?
Long time ago.
And the people of Colombia now, like, because I'll ask them, they do not like Pablo Escobar. They know that it's like a horrible thing that happened, with all the murdering and killing and drugs, and they want it to be, they're so welcoming to tourists, and they want us to actually experience and like learn and enjoy the city, enjoy the country, and have a good time. Like our boat tour guide yesterday was like, "Oh, bienvenidos," like welcoming us on and shaking our hand and everything.
I was gonna say that people say, "Oh, it's so dangerous here." I felt more unsafe in Baltimore, Maryland, than I have in Medellin, Colombia. Like, of course, yeah, we're tourists and we haven't been to the worst areas, yes, but. Come on, I have not felt unsafe at all this whole trip. Maybe, okay, you might be in a little rough area, you know what I'm saying? Look around, be aware of where you're at. But man, I felt more unsafe in the U.S. than I have here, and it's
Oh,
like
100%.
it's crazy.
You know, because we've explored a lot of the city. We've been to some parts that are less income, I'll say, like not as like kind of definitely like little like lower class, definitely, you know, visually seeing at least. And like you were saying, I felt perfectly fine walking through. People are still saying hi, still like asking us if we need help. American cities, in some places, I felt more dangerous than I have felt here this entire time. And it's like you were saying too. It's like any big city, as long as you're on your toes, not acting a fool, not getting too drunk, walking around. Like as long as you just are respectful, stay in your own lane, you'll be fine.
Exactly. I feel like people that do get caught up with those things are looking for like drugs or stuff like that. Or like you said, just not paying attention. They're from like, Australia or somewhere where it's like, they never really felt unsafe. And you come here and it's like, okay, you're just walking on with your wallet out, with your phone in your hand, like all willy-nilly with just jewelry on and stuff. I mean, of course, man, you're gonna be a target. So we just have just social awareness, man, and you'll be fine here. That's it.
How's the Philippines?
Philippines, wow. Honestly, I've never felt unsafe there at all. The Philippines is more safe than here. Like I literally could walk around with money in my hand, bro, and like nobody touched me, bro. Like it was that safe. They are super, super safe to Americans, man. They know that we're bringing in a lot of money there, and they respect Americans because of the whole culture with it. We kind of saved them in a way from the occupation of Japan and stuff like that. So they kind of look up to us in a way, and they really love us and respect us. So they'll try not to touch Americans at all, but they really love us, man.
Man, yeah, I gotta get out to Southeast Asia. I've never been out there, bro.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, man, that's the spot. Like, I love it here, yeah, but like Southeast Asia was the main thing because the language barrier. Like you said, you're lucky, man. You are. I don't care, man. You're fluent in Spanish. You might not say you're not fluent, man, but you're fluent, man. You're super fluent in the language. So you can get around. You can, talk to people, man. Talk to the waiters. Talk to the person who runs the store. Talk about prices, all that. I can't do that, and I had a lot of trouble with that. If I didn't have you this trip, man, I would be in danger. Not danger, but like like maybe overspending a lot. Getting lost and stuff like that. But nah, man. In Thailand and the Philippines, the English language barrier is not that bad. So it's kind of like you can get around without knowing the language at all. And especially the Philippines, they speak English. So it's like, man, it felt like America in a way, but it's just different. Like, so I felt really welcome, I'm safe, and I can talk to everybody. So like, that's good.
Awesome, bro. Yeah. There's some people who speak English here, but really not really.
Yeah, it's more of a rarity, man. You might run in like, I would say, man, 2 out of 10, maybe 3 out of 10 at the most speak English.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
And most of them that speak English, they took it like in college, so it's like the basics. Like,
or like what you said, the college or what they see on TV or with some college, you know what I'm saying? They don't know it that well, but they can speak it, but it's not like, you really can't understand it as well.
It is pretty cool, but also kind of like it's awe. Like I'm left in awe when I look at how much influence America really does have, though. Like most of think of like every store here, bro, has American products in it.
Oh, yeah.
Like half the places are named after American places, like Las Vegas restaurant or LA barbecue or something like that.
San Diego.
It's in San Diego, yeah. Like it's just wild, man.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. And it's just like, and it's the fact that America kind of runs the world when it comes to entertainment, when it comes to goods, when it comes
Hollywood
to,
and
you know what I'm saying, all the superstars, models, music. America is number one when it comes to all that. And I mean, it makes sense because what? We're the biggest country. Well, I'm sorry, one of the biggest countries. So it makes sense. So it's kind of like, it was nice to kind of see that how big of an influence our country has to other countries. It was kind of cool to see.
And I love my country, man. I love America. I love the USA with all my heart. I really do, man. But sometimes I just need to explore a different country, man. Step out, you know what I'm saying? Go see a different country, different culture. Because like I was saying, bro, I know people who, like, I grew up in Springfield, Illinois. I know people who have never left that town, bro. Never left that town. And we've been to how many countries, how many different states, at the minimum, states.
States, bro, plenty. So I feel like a lot of people, not any people, a lot of Americans have a biased view on the world because, man, like you said, people haven't even left their cities, let alone their state. So it's kind of like they just think they're the best, or they think this, or they think that about the country.
Or they think like the other places are dangerous, or like we were talking about this earlier. Like the biggest thing that you'll learn when you travel is that no matter where you go, people are people. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have nice people. You're going to have people who are rude. You're gonna have people who are helpful. You're gonna have people who have been there their whole lives.
Criminals,
criminals, good people,
Mhm.
police, non-police. You're gonna have people that are helpful, that want you to be there. People that don't want you to be there. It's like people are people, man. Like being here in Colombia. Think about the people that you know in your life, and the type of personalities they have. It's the same type of setup in social circles in every country, bro. People are people.
Exactly. So it was kind of cool to see that up close and personal. You know what I'm saying? It's just in a different language. But you can still see people's mannerisms and stuff like that. So you can still guess what they're saying, especially me, because I don't speak it at all. So I can still look at their facial expressions and look at their mannerisms and kind of get the idea of what they're saying and how they're feeling. So yeah, man, especially here, they're super animated. They're more animated than they are in the States when it comes to talking. So like they might do more hand movements and more, facial expressions and stuff like that. So it was cool to see. And it just makes me want to learn the language more because it sounds beautiful, man. Even in the ears, listening to the Spanish language being spoken, especially the Colombian way, it's beautiful, man. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, facts. That's what we were talking about with our Uber driver earlier, is like the Spanish here is different from other countries. So like for English, how we think like the British speak English weird and wrong, or same with like Australians, or like if you take someone from Texas talking to someone from Boston, the English is totally different, but they still understand each other. It's the same way with Spanish. Like if you take a Puerto Rican and talk to a Colombian, it's like, what? Like, that's our Uber driver was saying. But even like for me, when I started learning Spanish, I used Duolingo a lot. And so that is good at teaching you phrases and words, but that's coming like straight from Spanish, like from Spain. And I talked with a lot of Mexicans. Like a lot of Mexicans were people I actually got to practice with. So like Duolingo will teach you words and phrases. Actually talking to someone who speaks that language will teach you how to implement those things. And I feel like the best way to learn also is kind of just throw yourself in the fire and just try. You have to try. Like you're never going to be fluent and then start speaking it. Like you have to suck and then start, and then, you eventually get better.
Exactly.
But like there's words that, they'll say in Mexico that they don't say here, or they don't say in Puerto Rico, and it's like all kinds of vice versa, the same way as it is in English, like someone in Boston versus someone in Texas.
And it's crazy when you say that because it's true. And like you said, we took a graffiti tour this afternoon, and one of our tour guides, he was fluent in English, but he kind of talked a little funny. I'm sorry, he was very fluent in English, but he kind of talked a little funny. So we couldn't understand where he was from. Then we kind of had to listen to more of him talking. Then we finally got it. It was like, okay, he's from Europe. I mean, his accent is from UK. So it's kind of like, it's funny how if you're taught by a person who has like
He's from Colombia.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my man. He's from Colombia, but he was taught English by a person from the UK. So it was just funny to see the fact that somebody from the UK, you know what I'm saying, somebody from the UK talking, and he pushed that accent and pushed his vocabulary into him. So this Colombian man talked with a British
and
English
Hispanic accent.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
It was like a Hispanic British accent. It was crazy.
So it's crazy. It's like, bro, you sound British, but you're from here. But like he was taught English from a British person, so like he caught that from him. So this is crazy. I've never seen that before. It's crazy.
Crazy, isn't it?
In it, mate.
Oh, jolly chicky.
Yeah,
Chicky good.
So yeah, man, it's crazy how language works. Like if you're taught one way from a certain group, you just
pick up on it.
That's how you talk.
It's the same way for us too. Like that's nothing about Americans. Like what we were saying, me. Americans love to make fun of people who have an accent. What they don't understand is like I have an accent in Spanish. I have an English accent, bro. Like it's the same way, bro. Just because you haven't experienced it yourself doesn't mean it's not the same way. Like
exactly. So you might think, oh, I'm talking like this, talking all well. Yeah, go try to learn another language and see how you do, man. It's hard. It is hard. Tell them, man, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, it's taken me years to even get where I'm at now. Like I was saying, like you say, I'm fluent. Like I speak it pretty well, but I've had many years of being made fun of, and people like, if I tell them I'm learning Spanish, like, oh yeah, sure. And then I got to the point where I was just like, okay, like you kind of just have to jump in the water, try it, speak it, and if people blow you off, like, oh, whatever, roll it off your shoulders, find the next person, practice with them, and then keep doing that until you get good enough to where you can talk to anyone.
Yeah, man. So I took Spanish like 3 years when I was in school, and man, I had trouble with it. So what would you say is the hardest part of learning the language?
The hardest part of learning a language is just
Well, Spanish in particular.
okay, Spanish, yeah. So it came to a point for me where it finally clicked. Like there was rules and certain things in Spanish that just don't make any sense. They still don't really make sense. But there's rules in English that don't make sense either.
Oh, yeah.
But like a lot of people will say like, is it because of the genders? Or it wasn't really because of the genders. It wasn't really because of the the base word and then the other words that go along with it. For me, it was just I finally realized that some things in Spanish don't directly translate in English. Like there's a difference between a translation and an interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we have like interpreters, because you don't really translate exactly what's said. You can interpret what they're saying, but you can't translate it. Like there's things in Spanish that don't directly translate to English. I don't know how to, and if you talk to a person who is native speaking in Spanish, a lot of times they'll say, I don't know how to say this in English. And it's because it doesn't translate. Like you can interpret what it means. So like whenever the tour guide was talking to us, now I would tell you like, oh, basically he's saying this. Because like what he's exactly saying, there may not be an exact translation in English. So once I finally realized that like, oh, like these are the different languages is not just different spellings and pronunciation of words. Like it's totally different. Like their whole structure of communication is different. You know, like here's an example. Like tengo is like possessive, like ya tengo, like I have something. Like yo tengo un carro, like I have a car. But you also would say if you're cold, tengo frío. And that translates to I have cold. but the interpretation would be I'm cold.
I'm cold, yeah.
Whereas like you could say estoy joven, like I'm young, but you wouldn't say estoy frío. You don't say estoy is like I am, but temporary. Whereas if you said soy, it's like I am, but permanent. It's like soy Mason, like I am Mason. Pero estoy cómodo, like I'm comfortable. It's like temporary. Does that make sense?
No, it makes a complete sense. But like I said, I took it for 3 years, man, and I didn't retain a lot of it because I had trouble with it. Like, and like you said, like I didn't realize it doesn't translate fully. Like I just can't say whatever I want to say in English. In Spanish, it does not work like that. So I had a lot of trouble with that, just the whole translation thing and the pronouns and the whole of the sentence structure, like of the verbs and the adjectives. They don't go the same way that English does. So it kind of trips you up, especially I'm 13, 14 years old. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to learn that. So I kind of feel like now will be the perfect time for me to learn it again because my brain's fully developed and stuff like that. It's perfect, man. So I feel like, yeah, I can get the hang of it rather soon, honestly.
The best way to learn is like when you're a kid. I'm gonna teach my kids Spanish and English because I know they're like I want it to be to where they're like, Dad, you have an accent, because they're so good at both languages that they just know they can speak better than me. I feel like I feel like that's true though. Like the only person who wants you to become better than them is your old man.
Oh yeah, of course. Everybody else feels jealous or spiteful about it. No, if your parents always want you to do better, man. Always, man. Only person that my bad. Only person that kind of roots for you, honestly, are your parents, dog. Like,
yeah, man. Family seems to be like a big thing here too. Like everyone talks about family and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, it's been a great time. We've had a great trip. Whenever I get my actual setup, like my house set up and everything, I'll have to invite you out for another one.
Yeah, we'll do a proper one. We're just in the B&B right now.
Little Airbnb, like phone microphone, little slight one. We had to talk about the trip.
We'll do a proper one. This man got a flight in like 2 hours.
Yeah, I got a flight out of here in like 2 hours. But yeah, man, like I said, thanks for coming on, bro. I've had a great time. Course, me and him go way back. We've been boys for a hot minute, bro.
Years, man, years. So I'm just happy to see my boy again. It's like a tradition. Every year we see each other, man. Every year. So it's like tradition. So next time I pop out, man, it'd be his place in Illinois. So I'm just waiting for him to get his place, man. And I'll be right there on the podcast shooting a real official one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, post it up.
Yeah, dog.
Go ahead, tell them where they can find you, bro.
Oh, man, you can find me on IG, man. Fidel Cashflow. That's Fidel _Cashflow, 2 W's. And that's about it, man. Catch me on IG. And yeah, man, I'll be out there.
Yeah, this is like a short little episode. Hope you enjoyed it. If you like it, follow us on Instagram at KaufdropStudios. And just keep an eye out for more episodes. We push them out as we come. But this has been a great time. I'm your host, Mason, aka Kaufdrop, and tune in next time for another episode of The Drop.